If you ask most founders why they don't talk to customers, you'll hear some version of the same story. I've talked to hundreds of customers and they all love my idea. So why is there no revenue? If you asked people what they wanted from their gym, they might have said better equipment or more classes. But here's what most founders miss. When a customer says they want better equipment, they're actually telling you something important. They're frustrated with their progress. They're stuck not knowing what works. And they're trying to express a real problem in the only language they have. So talking to customers isn't the problem. Talking to them in the wrong way is. Hi there. My name is Vladimir Baranov. I've been a founder in fintech and aerospace, and now I coach other founders and tech leaders who are building tech companies of tomorrow. And today, I'm going to show you why the 3 most common approaches founders use to talk to customers completely fail. And then I'm going to share a much better way to uncover problems that customers deeply feel even if they cannot articulate them. The first approach: not talking to customers at all. This one is surprisingly common, especially among technical founders who believe the product should speak for itself. The logic goes something like this: if I build something innovative enough, people will get it. But this mindset is exactly how brilliant teams build products that completely miss how humans actually behave in the real world. Take the AI pin. Huge hype, impressive engineering, but only one tiny problem. Nobody stopped to ask whether people wanted to wear a glowing chest camera in public. The issue here is that this approach used to work. A decade ago, you could afford to give your customers a half-baked alpha or beta and then iterate with them to create something better. But today, when you launch a product this way, you get back crickets. Customers have many more choices competing for their attention. When they encounter something that doesn't immediately deliver value, they don't become beta testers. They ghost you and switch to another product. Without customer feedback, you don't eliminate uncertainty, you amplify it. You end up overbuilding, over-engineering, and solving problems nobody wakes up thinking about. Innovation without human behavior is a coin toss, and a very, very expensive. The second approach is about improving something that is already working. That is the trap of incrementalism. You make something smoother or faster without ever asking if anyone actually cares. There is a story of an entrepreneur visiting a Buddhist monastery. He notices a long line of monks chiseling away at the side of the mountain with simple hand tools. He feels confused. He wonders if the monastery is short on money, short on staff, or maybe this is some sort of kind of a disciplinary action. So he asks his guide, "Why do you not upgrade to automatic tools?" And the guide smiles and says, "Well, that will be faster." And that is the point. There is no problem. There is no urgency. The improvement offers no meaningful change to people doing the work. The only person who sees a problem is the outsider looking for something to optimize. Founders fall into this trap all the time. They polish features that customers do not care enough to act on. They chase speed, efficiency, or elegance in places where a customer feels no pain at all. People live with hundreds of small frictions. Most are not painful enough to change. Even fewer are painful enough to pay for. If you are improving something that already works, you may be building for a market that does not actually want improvement. The third approach: talking only about your solution. This is the fastest way to trigger confirmation bias on both sides. You describe your product idea. The customer nods politely. You take that nod as validation. But what you really got was a close-ended answer with zero emotional signal and zero behavioral detail. If you walk into an interview asking, "Would you use a product that does X?" you have already lost. You are leading them. You are filling in all the blanks with your own optimism. This approach doesn't reveal truth. It reveals wishful thinking. So why do these 3 approaches fail? Because they all make the same faulty assumption. They assume the customer consciously knows their own problems. But here's the real insight. Many customers almost never know their real problems. Real problems show up as little frictions they have normalized. They show up as the workarounds they had to invent. They show up as frustrations they've repeated so many times they barely notice them anymore. These problems live in their own behaviors, not their opinions. So the real question is, how do you surface problems customers feel but cannot articulate? That's where the better method comes in. And here's the better approach: engineering the right questions. You don't ask customers what they want. You don't pitch your idea. You don't ask them to validate anything. Instead, you use prompts. Think of them as instructions for human interviews that steer the conversation into the raw material you actually need: stories, emotions, and detailed behaviors. And then you analyze patterns across interviews. So here are the 5 steps that can help you uncover real problems your customers are having. Step 1, define the general area, not the problem. Like prompting a conversation, you do not tell the customer what to think about it. You tell them the domain, not the specific issue. For example, walk me through the last time you tried to organize your team's workflow, not do you struggle with workflow tools. This creates an open terrain for natural problem surfacing. Now, for step 2, ask for stories, not opinions. Humans are generally terrible at accuracy when talking about the future, just like Yogi Bear said, but fantastic at describing what already has happened. You say, tell me about a day when everything broke down. Walk me through the moment you realized things were going off the rails. This evokes emotion, detail, sequence, the data you actually need. Step 3, extract the emotional signal. As they talk, listen for the tells: frustration spikes, annoyance, embarrassment, moments they compensate for a broken system, situations where time, money, or pride was on the line. Opinions are a weak signal. Emotions are the strong one. Step number 4, capture the workarounds. Anytime a customer invents a workaround, you have found evidence of real problem worth solving. Workarounds reveal unmet needs, priority, willingness to invest, the exact job they're trying to get done. This is where the biggest opportunities hide. Step 5, look for patterns across many interviews. 1 interview is just noise. 10 interviews is a little bit less noise. 100 interviews is a data set. When the same frustrations, workarounds, or emotional spikes appear across different people, you're no longer guessing. You're seeing emergent problems that are real, felt, and economically meaningful. This is where founders finally stop asking, will someone buy this? And start saying, they already told me. With this, the behavior, what they will pay for. And here's the final takeaway for all of you, if you hung this far. Customers rarely say, here's my real problem. They reveal it indirectly through stories, frustrations, repeated patterns, and improvised hacks. Your job isn't to extract opinions. Your job is to surface truth. If you want your startup to survive the chaos, investor pressure, and decision overload, you need to learn how to talk to customers in a way that bypasses confirmation bias and gets to real monetizable pain. And that's what separates the ones that make it from the ones that don't. This has been Vladimir with a presentation of what the best customer discovery looks like. And if you're interested to hear more, subscribe below and I'll see you on the internet. Have a good one.